Capital with Colonial Power Group. I'm the consultant that's working with the town of Franklin to bring up the municipal aggregation program. I'm here with my colleague. I'll let her introduce herself. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Denise Allard, also from Colonial Power Group.
Thanks. So tonight we're here to talk about electricity and your electricity bill. So down in Franklin, you're a National Grid customer, and what we're talking about is the supply portion of your National Grid bill. So what the town has done for you is brought you a choice that you haven't had in years past. So it's a decision that you need to make. Everyone should have received a mailing in the mail. I shouldn't say everyone. If you're on basic service, you're taking your supply from National Grid, you should have received a letter from the town of Franklin explaining the program to you. With this program, it requires you to make a choice. So this program is an opt-out program, and it's an opt-out program for a number of reasons, but namely to get the best price for the community. That does not mean that you have to stay in the program. This program comes with no fees, no penalties. You can come and go from the program at any time without fee or penalty. So if you want to take a chance, and it is absolutely worth a chance this coming winter, the town has procured energy on your behalf. It's a national wind product at 10.725, and National Grid's rate is going to be 12.388. So there's no reason not to take the chance. Meaning it's guaranteed savings for the next 6 months. This program cannot guarantee savings over the life of the contract. National Grid's rates change every 6 months. And I'll get to that shortly, but there's no guarantee in savings except for this first 6-month period, you're guaranteed savings. So if you're a basic service customer and you receive this mailing, you have in your hands a letter explaining the program. It's telling you what you need to do. If at any time you want to opt out, you just simply need to sign that card, put it in a self-addressed stamped envelope, and return it. And you can get out of this program. No one's going to try to hold you in this program. This program is a choice that you haven't had in years past. So last winter, when National Grid's rates went to 13.9, it wasn't a choice by the town. And now the town has signed a contract. By the way, this rate of 10.725 is good for the next 36 months. It's a contract. It's not going to change. This rate is going to be stable for the 36 months. This isn't one of those phone calls that you get or a mailing, some other random mailing that you got from a third-party supplier. That there's a 6-month teaser rate and the rate's going to change. The town has signed a contract on your behalf, and it allows you to come and go as you wish. What I need to tell you is if you don't do anything, you will automatically be enrolled in the program. That's one of the reasons that we're doing this program, is so that there's very little work on the side of the end user or the resident. So the goal is to make this as seamless as possible to you. So if you're a National Grid customer and you've received this mailing and you do nothing, on your November bill, you're going to see a little message on up top on the distribution side that you're going to be switched from National Grid to Dynegy, who is the winning supplier in the town of Franklin's RFP. And you won't see that change until your December bill. So we use the power first, and then we pay for it. In December, you'll see a line item change on the supply portion of your bill. Rather than it saying National Grid Basic Service, it will say Dynegy Aggregation Town of Franklin, something to that effect. What if you have budget billing or automatic withdrawal, or you're a low-income customer, or you have solar panels? All of those benefits are going to stay in place. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to change anything. All of it works seamlessly with this program. You won't need to change anything. You'll automatically be enrolled. And then you can just, it's the same power. It's the same. If National Grid is still going to bill you, they're still going to, if there's a problem with the power, they're going to come to your house. If there's a problem with your bill, you'll go to them. If there's an issue with power outages, any of those things that National Grid handles, they're simply the poles and wire company. And now the supply for the town of Franklin is coming from Dynegy. So it's truly I look at it as a choice. The unfortunate thing is this choice comes with, if you don't want to participate, you do need to do something. So I wanted to make sure I made that up front. That's really the hot button item here is it's an opt-out and not an opt-in, but it's the only way to get I don't want to say this, it's the only way to have the best price out there. So this benefits everyone involved. It doesn't require anyone to be in it. So let's say you went with my original idea. You say, I'll just give this a shot. But in the middle of the winter, you say, you know what, for whatever reason, I'm uneasy. I don't, the savings aren't enough or whatever. You simply sign that card, send it back, go to colonialpowergroup.com, call us. The number's right there on the envelope you have. Simply call. We're going to opt you out of the program. No one's going to try to keep you in this program. So this program is truly for you, the resident, as another option to basic service. Not only is it stable, but it's green as well. So there's a lot of different benefits that you're going to see over time with this program. Just trying to think of anything else that I may have missed. The aggregation will not contact you. We're not out there knocking on doors or cold calling or doing mailings. This is a town program. If there's an issue, if you have any issues, you can always call Colonial Power Group at 866-485-5858, extension 1, and get any of your questions answered. That's, again, what this is about tonight, us answering any questions you may have. But we don't want anyone in the dark, because we believe with the education, you're going to make a decision that is going to be with the town program. We took a look just to give you an idea. The 3-year average for National Grid, the National Grid basic service rate has been around 11.9. You'd save about over the year, you'd save around $7 a month. Over the year, over the span. That's on 600 kilowatts. Some people will use more, some people will use less. Denise, jump in if I'm missing anything.
I think the only other thing we want to mention is if you're already on a third-party contract with a competitive supplier that you signed on your own, you like Mark mentioned, you only would have gotten the letter if you're on National Grid basic service. So if you're already on a third-party supply contract or a competitive supply contract, if you're with National Grid Green Up, which is their renewable energy program, or if you have a block on your account with National Grid, you wouldn't have received the mailing. If you're in any one of those 3 scenarios and you want to join the program, the town's program, you can do that at any time. We would only advise that if you are on a third-party contract, you want to make sure you don't have a penalty for leaving that contract early. So if you're in a 2-year contract and you have 12 months left, you just want to check with that third-party supplier, if it's Constellation or NextEra, whoever it is, and make sure if you want to leave early, you're not going to get hit with a $150 early termination fee. But if you're not, and you can leave that contract with no penalty, you can, like Mark said, go over to colonialpowergroup.com, click the opt-in button. You just need to have your bill handy so you can put in some account information and you'll get enrolled in the program. So anyone in Franklin is able to join. It's just only the basic service customers got the letter and will be automatically enrolled. Anyone else would need to actively take the step. So that's just another important point.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, this is on me, and I apologize. Out of the gate, there was a whole local process. It's quite protracted. The manager was very cautious, did a great job in this program, but the town, through town council, this was approved on December 15, in December of 2015. We went through, the town council approved the aggregation plan in March of 2016, and the contract was not signed. They've been looking at pricing for a while, back and forth, and this pricing was literally signed at kind of historic lows in the market back in February of 2020 for a start in this November. So the program has been there for a long time, a lot of process, but I think you're going to be extremely happy with the results of this program, given the amount of time and effort that was put forth. I think now, and I don't know, Chrissy, I can take questions. I don't know if everyone's muted or not, but I'm more than willing to take questions if you want them to go into the chat. However you want to do it. I just like to make sure everyone gets every question answered.
Do you want us to just unmute ourselves, or do you want us to put a question into the chat?
You can raise your hand. That would be the best option. But Bo, you seem to, you might have a question. You could probably start.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So we didn't get a letter, at least I don't think we did, and I believe it's probably because we're not with New England Grid right now, National Grid. We're actually with Clearview Energy.
Yes.
And we just signed a renewal, and it's not scheduled to go into effect until probably 2 weeks.
No.
So they're actually sending us the letter as we speak, and they said as long as we opt out within 3 days of receiving that letter, we won't get a penalty. So I asked the guy, what's the what do we make our decision based on? And he said, it basically comes down to price. And so I missed the very beginning of this. What is the price for this, for the Colonial Power?
Yep, so it's 10,725. It's with Dynegy was the winning supplier. We're the consultant for the town. It was 10,725 for 36 months, 100% wind product, which is identical to the Clearview product, and that's fixed for 36 months.
It's identical to the Clearview product?
Yeah,
I asked the guy if it was wind or if it was solar, and he said it's mostly hydro. Okay.
And you know, to be honest with you, I'm almost positive. But maybe they have a new program out, so I shouldn't say that. You can look; it will definitely announce. But it used to be a national wind product that they serve mostly.
All right. So now, since we didn't, how do we opt in? We would need to call you.
So if you have access to a computer, colonialpowergroup.com.
Yeah, I've got it online right now. All right, so I can just go in and sign in.
Yeah, you just sign in. Just choose, Franklin. There's an orange opt-in, opt-out button. Click on that button. If you have your bill handy, you can opt right into it.
Okay, and then it doesn't take effect until when? Did you say?
With your November meter read.
November meter read.
That's
okay,
correct.
so if our contract with Clearview is running out like any day now, and we don't renew it, then are we just going to go back to National Grid for a month?
That's exactly correct. More likely than not, and Clearview's, they're a pretty upstanding company, make no mistake, but they probably will hold you for an extra month. This enroll will automatically bump you out of that. So make no mistake, you don't need to call.
So I don't even need to tell them, but they'll give me a $50. They'll charge me $50 for not canceling.
So in that scenario, that's what I'm saying. So if you cancel, you're fine, but you're going to cancel, and I'm assuming, just giving what you're telling me, your meter read is early in October here. So even when you cancel, they're still going to hold you until that November meter read.
All right, well, somebody's going to give me a bill. It's either going to be them or National Grid, and then you guys will take over in November.
That's correct. And it's yours comes on National Grid's bill, right? You're not billed separately on that.
It comes on the National Grid bill, correct?
I have a question too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hi. I'm Helen Kinney. I'm with Bo. I work for a small company here in Franklin, and the owner, she gets two bills, one for the business, and then she owns a light post, or she's responsible for the light post out front.
Yes.
So if we don't do anything, is she automatically, and she's automatically enrolled in this program too, right? Or do we have to?
That's exactly correct. She should have gotten 2 pieces of mail.
Yes, she did. I did. Yeah.
So that means that both meters, we're on basic service, and they will be switched unless you choose to opt out.
Okay, and the rate will be the 10.327 or 72 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's 10,725.
Okay, which is a lot less than paying National Grid.
That's correct. National Grid on a residential account would be 12,338. On a commercial account, it's just slightly above that. I'm not sure which. It's 10,763 this winter.
Okay, all right, and it's guaranteed for 3 years.
That's a correct statement.
Okay, and there's no rate change at all? Because I just got to make sure I can sell her on this.
That's absolutely correct. And just remember, if she's uneasy for it, you can always call and opt out, sign that card, stick it in the envelope, and she'd be right out of the program. No one's trying to keep her in the program.
Okay, and so we were with Viridian a few years ago, and you
Yeah.
all know what happened with that.
I do.
So that's why she's a little hesitant, but I said to her, if the town has agreed to do this, it's probably been well vetted.
Yeah.
And so I think that I'm good then.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So I just have one final question. We just got another email from a company called Nexamp,
Yes.
which is another program. There's a Franklin seal on this letter. I guess this is a solar
Yes.
farm. Is that completely separate and distinct? What is this, just buying into a solar farm?
Yes. So what they'll do is it's called like it's a solar net metering deal. So virtual net metering, they'll build a solar array somewhere. You'll sign up for it, and then they'll apply discounts to your bill through the SMART program. That's I don't know if you know anything about there's been 3 iterations that the Department of Energy Resources, they had SREC 1, they had SREC 2, now they're under SMART. And all that will do is further, it helps build additionality or new renewables on the grid, and you get a benefit for that. I'm not certain what that deal is that Nexamp cut with the city, but I know it's always a discount. And it will work seamlessly with the aggregation program.
A special discount rate of 15% to Franklin residents, meaning subscribers can save even more on their annual electricity cost. So both of these, they complement each other. They're not
Competitors.
they're not competitors.
They are not. That's correct. That's
Right.
correct.
Okay.
Great.
All right. That's all my questions. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I think you're going to receive on those, it's going to be an AOBC or an on-bill credit. So it's not even, the rate doesn't change or anything like that. You're just going to get a credit on your bill for a dollar amount, that 15% that you just mentioned.
So that credit is taken off of whatever I owe, and what I would get a smaller rate with your program. So I'll save some, and then I'll get that credit off of that. Okay. All right.
That's correct. And that credit will be up on the distribution portion of your bill because it's a national grid program, if you will. National Grid administers those.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. More questions? I know people have questions.
If anyone else has a question, please raise your hand. No?
Well, Chrissy, I guess I am that scary then.
Yeah, well, that or you gave a really great explanation. Let me see if Jamie's going to hop on. If not, we may be all set.
And I believe, I just forget the date. I think we have another one in case anyone knows that
Okay.
someone that couldn't make it today.
Yeah, it's on Monday at 10 a.m., I believe.
That is correct. Monday, October 5th at 10 a.m. If anyone here knows anyone that's still wondering, there's another Zoom out there. It's on the Colonial Power Group website as well.
Oh, I see a question in the chat. What happens if you bought out or claim Chapter 11?
Nothing. There's no credit checks. There's none of that. You have no contract with the supplier. All the town has said, we're going to bring you our residents. They get to come and go as they want. It's completely up to them. So there is no background check at all as far as credit goes. None. Excellent question. Thank you, Mr. Kinney.
Yep. Jamie's not going to be able to make it, so
Does anyone have
he
anything?
should be on the October 5th one.
Yeah, no, if no one has another question, you certainly can get back 40 minutes of your life. Well, I think John had one question. Yes, that is correct. So the question is, if I opt out of the program, I automatically enrolled with National Grid. The answer is yes. When you opt out, you always receive supply, no matter who you opt out of or what have you. This program's no different. You always go back to basic service with National Grid. There'll never be a break in service on a supply contract. Another excellent question.
Hi, I have a question. Can we opt out and opt in once only, or?
Endless. Well, so I want to say endless, but only we can do it as many times as you like, but only on your meter read. So in Massachusetts, we have what we call a dumb meter. So they read it at the beginning of the month and the end of the month. So we can only switch people during those meter reads. But let's just say you decided to stay in November you stayed in. But for whatever reason you get out in January, you could opt back in March and do the same thing and opt out again in February or June or whatever it is. As long as lots of times when you look at your bill and then you opt out, it may take a month because you just had a meter read, and then you'd be with the program for the next 30 days until your meter read was read again. But you have unlimited opt-in or opt-outs. There's never a fee and never a penalty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? I do want to mention that we have quite a bit of information on our town website too. On the front page of franklinma.gov, down the bottom, Municipal Aggregation. And that's where you can find the link to the October 5th meeting as well. And if you have nothing else, Mark and Denise, I think we can.
Chris, you just want to thank you for putting this on. If anyone has any questions, I can always be emailed at mark@colonialpowergroup.com. I'm happy to answer any questions, because I think once you understand what the town's done here, I think you're going to really enjoy the program. Thank you. Appreciate your time tonight.
Sounds great. Thank you both so much. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great night.